Welcome back to J&J Pick'em. My name is Josh.
And my name is Juan.
And for this week, we got the divisional round of the playoffs, and we're going to tell you exactly who's going to win, who's going to make it to AFC Championship, NFC Championship, and who's going to be one step closer to making it to a Super Bowl. I'm really excited for the Ravens versus Bills. We got Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, and whoever wins that matchup is most likely going to play Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship. So I'm really excited for this week of football.
Yeah, let's make some more money this week. One more thing, we are so close to hitting 4K subscribers, so make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, with that being said, let's get into our divisional round picks.
Let's go.
To start off this week of playoffs, we got the Texans versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites. The over-under is 41.5. Last week, I called it. I said the Texans were beating the Chargers, and the reason the Texans won is because they played at home. They're such a great team at home, but unluckily for them, they're playing at Arrowhead. The Chiefs are 10-0 in their past 10 games in Arrowhead. Arrowhead is such a hard place to play, and especially Mahomes in the playoffs. This year, Mahomes actually has one of the worst statistics in throwing. He's actually doing really bad, but we know how Mahomes is in the playoffs. Like, he turns different. He's such a good player, but the thing is, who steps up for this team? That's why I'm really interested, because Travis Kelce had one of his worst seasons receiving, but he's the most targeted target for the Chiefs. And DeAndre Hopkins had 600 yards. I feel like no one's the number one, but the guy who's going to step up is Travis Kelce. He's the most reliable receiver for Patrick Mahomes. And for the game plan, you got to feed him the ball and you got to score points against the Texans. We seen what their defense did last week. They got a bunch of sacks. Derek Stingley Jr. This dude's a beast, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And, you know, he's really doing good for the Texans defense. CJ Stroud, though, I feel like he has an interception problem. And I feel like that's the reason why the Chiefs are going to win this week. CJ Stroud's going to turn over the ball. I feel like he's going to throw at least one interception to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs capitalize off turnovers. The X factor for the Chiefs this game is Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, they've been splitting carries, but I think Pacheco's going to carry this team. Last year, we seen in the playoffs, the reason they won the Super Bowl against the Eagles and why they did really good in the playoffs was Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco has to do really good if the Chiefs want to win, and I think that's a game plan for them. So I got the Chiefs winning this matchup. I think it's going to be a close game. For the spread, I think I'm going to take +8. +8.5 for the Texans. I feel like they'll keep it close because of their defense. And honestly, Mahomes, he's been throwing at least one interception in the regular season. I know it is the playoffs, but I can see him throwing at least one interception, but they're still going to win because it's an Arrowhead. It's such a hard stadium to play in, but for the Chiefs, they're so comfortable there. And for the over-under, I'm going to go over. I feel like both of these teams can score a lot of points, and I think the Chiefs are going to win this matchup.
Yeah, for this one, I think it's a Week 16 rematch.
It is.
It's going to be a great game. The last time they met, the Chiefs, they ended up coming out with the win.
Yep.
For this one, come on, you had to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You got to go with the team that, the refs are, basically helping them out.
Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, and for this one, I feel like the Chiefs, bro, like last year, they weren't too great of a team, but this year they have Hopkins now. They have Xavier Worthy, who's been having a pretty great season.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, I mean, the good thing, he's had, I think, a touchdown and in the past 2 games, as well as Xavier Worthy. For the Texans, CJ Stroud, the last time these two teams played, the person who led the team in the receiving team was Nico Collins.
Yep.
And
Collins.
Tank Dow.
Yeah.
And this time there's no Tank Dow. Tank Dow, he led the team, I think it was like 6 receptions, 98 yards, and 1 touchdown. Yeah. And he led the team in receiving. So that means this time he's not there. They need someone to step up. Nico Collins is most likely going to be that player. And Schultz, the tight end, I feel like he's that player who, he's inconsistent. This year, I feel like he's had like a very bad season.
He has.
Usually he's a tight end that helps out that team. But this year, he's been very off. And he did get 1 touchdown, I think, out of like 2 this season against the Chiefs. So I guess that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
But for this one, I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs -8.5. And I think the over 41.5 should go and hit. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Both teams are really hungry. The Texans last week, they showed that their defense can even put up points.
Yep.
And the way it's looking, it's going to be a great matchup. But I got the Chiefs.
I like that you mentioned Tank Dell. So Tank Dell isn't there no more. So you said who's going to step up? John Michie had the same amount of targets as Nico Collins last week. So I expect them to have a really big game, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat the Chiefs. One more thing I forgot to mention, Joe Mixon. He did really good in the running game. If the Texans could establish that running game, I feel like they can make it a close game.
Yeah.
But we obviously got the Chiefs winning this one, and they're going to move on to the AFC Championship. For our next playoff game, we got the Commanders versus the Lions. The Lions are 9.5-point favorites. The over/under's 55.5 points. So Vegas is expecting a high-scoring game. This matchup is going to be very interesting. Jaden Daniels, I think there's only been like 10 rookies who have won a playoff game on the road. Jaden Daniels is one of them now. He's not playing like a rookie. He's playing like a veteran quarterback. He's playing really great. But the thing about the Commanders and Jaden Daniels, you got to score in the red zone, especially a team like the Lions. Last week, I think 2 or 3 times on 4th down, they're in the end zone. They couldn't score. They did score once, but against the Lions, you got to score in the end zone like that, especially on 4th down. And I like how they're playing aggressive. Even though they didn't get the touchdown, if they play aggressive against the Lions, I feel like they have a good chance of winning. Brian Robinson Jr., though, on the running game, I feel like he's on and off. Like, you don't know when he's going to do good, when he's going to do bad, but he has to have a really great game. And Austin Eckler behind him in the receiving game, I feel like he has to do really good because Scary Terry's getting the ball. Dwami Brown is doing good, but outside of them, I feel like no one else is getting the ball. Yeah. Zach Ertz, he didn't have a great game last week. The Lions, I'm going to butcher his name. I forget the linebacker, but Shesky, Olevsky, whatever his name is, he's a really good linebacker, and he's going to shut down Zach Ertz. That's what I really believe, that the Lions are going to do good. And you know what? The Lions are injured on their defense, but Amik Robinson, that linebacker, other people on their defense are playing really good defense. And Dan Campbell said it best. Your backups got to step up when your starters are out, and it's next man up mentality. And that's what the Lions are doing. And that's the reason why the Lions are going to win this matchup. Their defense is going to step up, and the Lions are so good at running the ball. David Montgomery's out, but Jahmyr Gibbs, he's doing so well. And the Commanders, they're giving up 4.9 rushing yards this whole season. And dude, that's unfortunate for them because they're playing against Jahmyr Gibbs. He's gonna ball out this game. Amon St. Brown's gonna have a great game. And luckily for him, he's playing against Marshawn Lattimore. We see Marshawn Lattimore against Mike Evans last week. He struggled against Mike Evans.
He was even crying out there in the field.
He was crying on and off the field, and he's going to struggle against Amon St. Brown. Sam Laporta, I feel like he's going to do really good. But one guy that is the X factor is Jameson Williams. I think the Commanders after this game, they're going to have to take some shots off of Jameson too. They're probably going to struggle, and it's because Jameson Williams is going to ball out. I feel like if he has those 1 or 2 big deep ball plays, I feel like the Lions are going to do really good. But honestly, they just have to run the ball. I feel like if the Lions can run the ball, control the game, they're going to win this matchup. Another thing for the Commanders, they're actually 3-0 in the playoffs against the Lions, but that's when they're the Redskins. They're the Commanders now. I feel like it's a new organization. I feel like they're going to struggle against them. So for the spread, give me -9.5. It's in Detroit. The Lions are so good. Jared Goff doesn't turn over the ball a lot. Jaden Daniels doesn't either.
I feel like Jared Goff does turn over the ball a lot.
He does, but I feel like he's a game manager. Kind of like how we said Brock Purdy was a game manager, but he does a really good job at it, though. Jaden Daniels, I feel like he doesn't turn over the ball, but if he does this game, they're going to struggle a lot. So I got -9.5. And you know what? Give me the over 55.5. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Jaden Daniels does score the ball. So I feel like if they want to win this game, like I said, on and on, you got to score in the red zone. But I got the Lions winning this matchup.
Yeah, for this one, like you said, you got to score in the red zone. The Commanders last week, they did horrible in the red zone.
Yep.
The Lions, week 18 against the Vikings, they scored every single time they were in the red zone. That's
Crazy.
something, like we said, playoffs, you need points. There's teams that come into the playoffs, and they can't put up points, and that's why they lose. I don't know. For this one, I want to go with the Lions. They're a great team. And I kind of want to go with the Commanders, bro. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels, he's been proving that he's a great rookie quarterback. He's been balling out with McLaurin. I feel like this is a hard pick. This can be a game where the Commanders can actually come up with an upset. And I feel like, for this one, I'm going to take the safe pick. I'm going to go with the Lions, but I do think the Commanders will, with the +9.5, they should be able to cover the
spread.
Yeah, but for this one, the Commanders are the offensive line is able to buy Jaden Daniels some time, then he should be able to tear up this Lions defense. And I honestly think that because the Lions, I feel like Jared Goff, like you said, he doesn't turn over the ball, but I think he does.
Sometimes
and he makes very bad mistakes. Against the Texans, he had 5 interceptions.
Yeah, I remember that game.
And
it was a
honestly,
horrible game.
I feel like he's that quarterback where he has those good games and he has those bad games. And if he has a bad game, then it can it can start some problems.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they got St. Brown, they got Jamal Williams,
Laporta,
or not Jamal Williams, Jameson Williams.
Yeah,
They got Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs, who's been balling out. And I think David Montgomery might be actually coming back for this game.
There's no way.
Yeah,
really?
no, I've heard. I'm not sure if it's true yet.
That would be crazy.
But if he comes back,
dude,
best duo, best running back duo in the NFL. For this one, I'm gonna go with the. It's over 55, right?
Yeah.
For this one. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the over. Jaden Daniels, he's a quarterback who can put up lots of points. Yeah. And Jared Goff is going to have to keep up with that. I feel like Jaden Daniels is a quarterback who's going to put up at least 3 touchdowns, at least. The running backs, I don't know. I feel like that's one reason why I'm also doubting the Commanders. But if the running backs get it going and Jaden Daniels get some time in that pocket, I think he'll be able to get the win. But like I said, I'm going to go with the Lions.
Last week I said the Bills were gonna smoke the Broncos, and that's what they did because they're a great team at home. The Lions are gonna do the same exact thing, in my opinion. I feel like it's gonna be a blowout because the Lions are at home. They're such a great team offensively, and I feel like I said this last week and I was wrong. Okay, Jaden Daniels, he's a rookie, but I feel like rookie quarterbacks in playoff environment eventually make mistakes, and I feel like that's what's gonna happen. But who knows? Anything could happen. We both got the Lions winning this game, and they're gonna go to the NFC Championship. To start off Sunday, we got the Rams versus the Eagles. The spread for this game is -6 for the Eagles, and the over-under is 43.5. This is going to be an interesting matchup. The Rams last week against the Vikings played really good football, especially their defense. 9 sacks against Sam Darnold, and their defense looked amazing. Got a defensive touchdown. Jared Verse is an amazing rookie, defensive rookie of the year, in my opinion. He's been playing amazing football, and I really like how their defense is playing. And, they might have a chance against the Eagles if their defense plays the same. I think Jalen Hurts did get sacked 2 times last week against the Packers, and I feel like the Rams could do the same thing, get at least 2 sacks, and it's going to be clutch making Jalen Hurts throw the ball. We know they could run the ball. Saquon Barkley, probably best running back in football right now, him and Derrick Henry, but can Jalen Hurts throw the ball? That's the question for this game.
Nah, he can't.
He only had 131 passing yards last game. He did throw for 2 passing touchdowns, but A.J. Brown disappeared. He wasn't anywhere. Devontae Smith did get like 50 or 60 yards. But you know what? A.J. Brown needs to get the ball this game. He needs to get fed. Devontae Smith needs to keep getting fed. And they got to be able to throw the ball, especially if they go down. If the Rams take a lead and the Eagles can't run the ball, they got to be able to throw it. So I feel like that's the key factor for the Eagles this game. For the Rams is their defense. You got to be able to stop the run. If you can't stop Saquon, it's game over, dude. I think Saquon, in the regular season, they played each other. I think he dropped over 200 yards. I might be wrong, but he dropped some crazy numbers against the Rams.
He had 199 yards.
Did he? Bruh, it's crazy. And we know what Saquon could do at home. We seen it last week. Crazy stadium to play in. I feel like it's one of the hardest stadiums to play in. Matthew Stafford, he showed he's not washed. Matthew Stafford's interesting. Oh, he's 5-1 in the playoffs with the Rams, by the way. He's really good in the playoffs with the Rams. He's like a player in the regular season. He's like whatever, but he turns into playoff Stafford, and he plays really good in the playoffs. I feel like he could do pretty good this game. This game's interesting for them, though. I don't know who's going to step up. Like, Cooper Kupp, he only had 29 yards.
And that was off of 1 catch.
Only 1 catch. These past 4 weeks, he actually had less than 4 targets by Matthew Stafford, which is weird. When they went on that Super Bowl run, he had all the targets. Yeah. But something happened. I don't know if there's some locker room issue, if maybe like him and some relationship stuff is happening. I don't know. But it's crazy. But Puka Nacua, dude, Puka's legit. He balled out last game. I expect to have a really big game again. And Kyron Williams, if you're able to run the ball against the Eagles, I feel like you're going to do really good. But the Eagles defensive line stops the run, especially Jalen Carter. I love how he's playing. The Raiders should have drafted him, bro. I'm so mad.
I don't like Jalen Carter. He took my team out last week.
Hey, he does some crazy stuff, bro, off-field issues, but he's a good player on the field. This game, give me the Eagles. They're going to be able to run the ball. Saquon Barkley is amazing, and Jalen Hurts is finally going to be able to throw the ball. And you know what? People hate on him because he doesn't throw the ball, but it's because he has Saquon. They just got to run. That's how they win their games. Give me the -6 on the Eagles. I feel like they're going to probably not smoke the Rams, but I feel like they can win by 10, 11, maybe 12 points. And for the over-under, give me the under. I feel like both these teams are going to run the ball a lot. I feel like they're going to throw the ball sometimes, but I feel like it's going to be a defensive matchup. Oh, other thing. The secondary for the Eagles, Quintominus Bay. That's not his real name, but dude, he's on the Bay, bro. No one's getting past him. It's crazy. He locks people up, and that's what he did last week. So I got the Eagles winning this matchup.
Yeah, for this one, it's gonna be a great matchup. Honestly, I am upset the Eagles beat my team last week. The Green Bay Packers were no longer in the playoffs, and for this one, I think look, it's gonna be a great game. But for this one, I'm going to go with the upset one more time. The Rams, everyone thought they were going to get smacked by the Vikings. They came in and smacked the Vikings. This week, I feel like they might do it again against the Eagles. The Eagles, I feel like they're a great team. One good thing is their defense, like you said.
Dude,
great defense. They're great at forcing fumbles. Like they're allowed to go head to head with another player.
Yep.
And if the player clearly recovers the ball, they're knocked down. They're still able to take away from the ball from the player and recover it, which is a crazy rule. And this time, Rams are getting revenge for the Packers. And I truly believe it. I feel like this is a great offense in the playoffs. This ain't the regular season. Jalen Hurts, you're not ready for this type of game. You're not playing a hurt team like the Packers. You're not playing a hurt team like the Niners that one year. You're playing a pretty healthy team right now. And I think the Rams might be able to come out with the win. You might think I'm hating, but bro, the Rams right now, I feel like Matthew Stafford is on fire. Kyron Williams is on fire. You're not going to be able to stop Puka. And like you said, Jalen Hurts cannot throw that ball. The Rams come up with a couple points and put up points pretty early in the game. I don't think they're going to be able to come back. Devontae Smith, he's going to be there, but A.J. Brown got locked down last week. He's going to get locked up again. And, for this one, Saquon Barkley, the Packers were pretty on him. He still had a good game. And I feel like the reason why he had a good game was because the way the game started from the beginning was, they didn't need to throw the ball. They had to basically just... The run game was perfectly fine. And for this one, the Rams, if they put up points, the Eagles are going to have to throw that football. And you think they're going to be able to throw the football?
I think they can, bro. I feel like their cornerbacks aren't that good for the Rams. And you know what? A.J. Brown is still the number one receiver for them. He could still put up points. We've seen what he did with, Tanner McKee, Kenny Pickett. But honestly, they're better quarterbacks than Jalen Hurts. Nah, just kidding. But I get what you're saying. They have to throw the ball to win this game. It could be hard.
Yeah, upset of the week. For this one, what's the spread? Well, I'm going to go with the Commanders. With the Rams covering the
plus
spread.
+6, yeah.
And then the over, it's got to be under. It's a snow game.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
That might be, it might benefit the Eagles with the run game.
It's going to
benefit for this one, I got to go with the Rams.
Honestly, you're crazy, bro. No, I can see the Rams winning, but honestly, I got the Eagles. I feel like they're going to run the ball.
Their defense was on fire last week.
It is. That's why it's going to be a defensive matchup. We got a low-scoring game. You got the Rams. I got the Eagles. Let us know who you guys think is going to win this matchup. To end off this week of playoffs, we got the Ravens versus the Bills. This is the game everyone has been looking forward to. I love this game, man. We had Tom Brady, Big Ben, Peyton Manning. Now we have Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. Yep. I'm loving this new generation of football. We have some really good quarterbacks, and we have a matchup that I'm really excited to see. It's two really good quarterbacks, and both quarterbacks who are in contention to win MVP. And call me crazy, whoever wins this game might get MVP, dude.
Hey, but whoever loses, it's going to be bad for them. The memes are going to go crazy.
Dude, both of these quarterbacks want this win. Josh Allen, he keeps losing Mahomes in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson, on draft day, I still remember this. He said that he's bringing the Ravens a Super Bowl, so I know he's really mad that he hasn't got them one yet.
Hey, but he's also lost to the Chiefs.
He has
in the
too.
Playoffs.
Mahomes owns both of these players, and both of them are probably going to play. Whoever wins this game is going to play Mahomes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really good matchup. I love this game. It's going to be a lot of offense. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry.
MVP versus MVP. We're about to find out who's going to be MVP too.
For the Ravens, they have two running backs. We've been saying this all season. But, dude, okay, it actually matters a lot. Last week, Bo Nix put up a lot of rushing yards against the Bills, and he's a rookie. Now, imagine Lamar Jackson, who does this for a living every week. He runs the ball every week. The Bills are going to struggle with him running the ball. And, it sucks. In the playoffs, he always chokes because he can't throw the ball. But, dude, this is the year where they have all the pieces to run. Derrick Henry is a monster.
Yeah.
I think every game he has 100 yards or more, the Ravens win 90% of their games, and Lamar Jackson can run. Justin Hill does good in the running game, and he could catch the ball. The only thing that's kind of scary for the Ravens, Zay Flowers is questionable. He hasn't practiced up until Wednesday. I still don't know his status for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I don't know if he's going to play. If he doesn't play, Mark Andrews is going to step up. Isaiah likely has to get the ball a lot more.
Bateman as well.
Bateman, he did have a touchdown last game, I believe. And, you know, the Ravens have the pieces to win. On their defense, I love Roquan Smith. I feel like he has to step up in terms of stopping James Cook because James Cook is cooking. We say this every week. He leads the Bills in rushing yards. He does super well. And you know what? Just like the Ravens, they got their own version. They got Josh Allen and James Cook running that ball, and we know what Josh Allen could do running the ball. He's really good at running the ball. He's a strong runner, and he gets some touchdowns. The difference is they have no one in the receiving game, but the true MVP, Josh Allen, gets his players the ball. And, you know, he scores touchdowns. They're down 7-0. He put up, I think, 31 unanswered points. And they won that game at home.
Against one of the best defenses, too, the Denver Broncos.
Their secondary's legit. They have Patrick Surtain, and the Bills beat them like nothing. Dude.
Yeah, he was putting up touchdowns after touchdown after touchdown.
Greg Rousseau, he's the leader, I think, in sacks for the Bills. I feel like he's not that good, but I feel like he has to put a lot of pressure, and their defensive line has to put pressure on Lamar Jackson. If the Ravens don't get pressured, they're just gonna bully this defense, dude. And honestly, the over-under for this game, it's 51.5. I think this is gonna be over. I think both of the defenses are gonna struggle. It's gonna be a shootout, and honestly, if this goes to overtime, this is gonna be one of the best overtimes.
Overtime, Josh Allen is.
Yep. It's new
not
overtime
looking good for him if it goes to overtime.
Yep, new overtime rule, so it's gonna be crazy. The spread is -1. All right, so hold on, moment of truth. You know what? Call me crazy. Give me Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Lamar Jackson deserves to win. They never win. The Bills always make it. I feel like this is a moment where Josh Allen just doesn't have enough weapons and can't come up with a win. The reason the Ravens are going to win is because, how I mentioned, their run game. They're going to keep running the ball. The Bills are not going to be able to stop them. And Lamar Jackson finally has a playoff game where he throws the ball, and he's actually really good at it. So I got the Ravens winning this game. But it's going to be a really good matchup.
Yeah, for this one, it's going to be a really great matchup. Basically, the two best quarterbacks of the season right now.
Yep.
Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson.
Oh,
and
crazy.
For this one, it's going to be a great game. Obviously, winner goes on to the AFC Championship. Most likely plays Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
For this one, I'm going to have to go with Lamar Jackson.
Let's go.
The Ravens already smacked the Bills earlier in the season.
35-10, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
Josh Allen couldn't do anything. And then the big reason is, like you said, he doesn't have those key players.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, he has Derrick Henry, who's such a great player. I don't know if you remember that year where Derrick Henry basically took out Tom Brady out of the playoffs.
With the Titans. It was crazy.
Tom Brady was having a great season. It's going to be a replay of that, basically. Josh Allen's going to get smacked. Nah, he's not going to get smacked.
No, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be
a close matchup. Honestly, like you said, Zay Flowers isn't going to play, but I don't think that matters. The last time they played earlier in the season, Zay Flowers only had one catch for 10 yards. Yeah. For this one, you already know Mark Andrews is going to step up, and if they get that run game going with Derrick Henry, the first when they met up earlier in the season, he had 199 yards, I think like 2 touchdowns.
Crazy.
And then Justice Hill, he had like 78 yards and another touchdown. Bro, those running backs were tearing apart that Bills defense.
Yeah.
And honestly, they showed that they can beat that team without receivers. Zay Flowers plays, it will obviously help out the team a lot more. And for this one, it sucks to say it, but Josh Allen, you had a great season, but it ends here. I honestly do think it's going to end here. Lamar Jackson has an extra weapon this year. It's a different team with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's that player who can take over, and like we seen the big play he had against the Bills. And I think it's going to be a replay. A lot of the teams in the playoffs that lost to a team earlier in the season lose to them again, and we've seen it with the Rams and the Vikings. This is going to be a replay of that. I got the Ravens winning. The over, I think they'll go over just because Josh Allen, no matter what, he's going to put up touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, He's going to put up touchdowns too.
Yeah.
He's a great quarterback / running back.
Yeah.
And, whenever he gets open, he sees those open spaces, he rushes and helps out that team, get that first down for this one. Oh, also, you know what? The Ravens have a pretty good defense. I feel like their defense doesn't get a lot of respect like they should. And this week, they're going to stop Josh Allen. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to put up more points than the Bills, and they're going to get the win.
I do want to say this. We're not disrespecting Josh Allen.
No,
we're not
saying,
saying,
at all. We've been saying MVP all season.
And we're not saying the Bills are a bad team.
And we know Lamar Jackson's horrible record in the playoffs.
He sucks in the playoffs. Honestly, we're just being biased right now. And the Bills are playing at home. They're amazing at home. And so we're saying don't be surprised if the Bills win, too. Yeah. Like, the Bills could easily win. This is a toss-up.
Playoff. One of the top playoffs besides the AFC Championship, which is going to be a great matchup. This is the second best,
call me crazy.
Game we're gonna get.
This is probably better than the Super Bowl, bro. Just like last year, where the AFC Championship, the AFC is better than NFC. I'm sorry, you're a Packers fan, but I feel like the AFC playoffs is always better than the NFC playoffs. You have better teams. NFC is a cakewalk, bro. The Lions are gonna win. Eagles are gonna win, in my opinion. But this is a hard matchup. And then after you got to play Mahomes too, I feel like that's better than the Super Bowl. This is gonna be a crazy matchup. Let us know who you guys got winning this game. And for our next segment, we got the best segment of the week, parlays of the week. Let's cash out. Let's make this money. So for my parlay, I got the Texans plus 8.5. I got the Lions -9, and I got the Ravens -1.
For my parlay, I got the Chiefs -8.5. I got the Commanders +9, and I got the Ravens +1.
Yes, sir. Let's cash out. Let's make this money.
Let's go. Let's cash out.
Thank you guys for watching another week of J&J Pick'em. I just want to say thank you guys for all the support you're giving us. We're 500 subscribers away from 4K subscribers. And I know we could do it, and I know we could hit that goal. And also, we're getting really close to a Super Bowl. I forgot to mention this, but the last 3 Super Bowl winners I actually predicted correct. Yep. So I feel like I'm going to predict this Super Bowl correct too. So I'm really excited for what's coming up next.
Yeah, make sure you're following us on Instagram, J&J Pick'em. That's where we post any changes to our picks 1 hour before the game. And one more thing, we're going to be posting player props right before each game. So make sure you're following us on Instagram.
Yeah, my name is Josh.
And my name is Juan.
And this was J&J Pick'em.